to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I was the only one in the room yelling at that part of the oath. I took it seriously. I did my 4 years. I realized I can't work for Uncle Sam anymore, and I got out. And I consider this a more noble fight than I was doing in there.
This is the fight. This is the battle for the Republic. All of you resisting tyranny are in the footsteps of the founders. Calls coming up. Stay with us. We're going back to our guest, but here's John Bound. He's done reports for us. Board Ops produces, does a great job. Because everybody's cross-trained here, has worked for local TV stations, had his own radio show in the past, journalist. Your dad's a Peabody journalist, won one of the biggest awards you can get, so a long family of journalists. And, no criminal record, really nice family, know your wife, know your children and things. You got a nice little 15-mile, turn after turn, little Fed behind you with all the antennas and stuff right up on your butt today after you left your house. Again, purely to try to mess with your mind. Move to North Korea, you un-American trash. You're mad we're talking about your narcotics trafficking? You're mad about your Fast and Furious? I mean, just don't they get, everybody that works here already knows this? I mean, it doesn't intimidate you, does it?
No, actually, I was conversing with them, hoping they could hear me in my car about 10 miles, 10 miles down.
Yeah, because they do without warrants put sound bugs and GPS,
Yeah, so I started telling them that I hope you realize I'm on official business and you're not. You're on criminal business, and you guys need to just move on. I'm assuming, guys, because you couldn't see anything because the windows were...
we actually have this. We have a bunch of raw footage because it just goes on and on, but an Obama deception. They would follow us out of the hotel. We'd make all these, 10 turns, and then we start chasing them, and then they would run into a bathroom. And it was always a military guy, 40 years old, shaved head, in a suit or whatever. And, I mean, it's just like, man, it's not scary. Okay, we understand. Did a great job at Oklahoma City. Blowing up kids is really cool.
Yeah, and at that level, what are you thinking? You're an American citizen. I'm an American citizen. You've got a little badge and a uniform. You're the bad guy. You got assigned this detail today, and you're the enemy. You're the bad guy, not me. I'm just doing my job. I'm expressing the amendments of the Constitution.
That's right.
Bill of Rights. That's all I'm doing. I'm doing you a favor.
They don't care. They shoot their kids up with every shot there is. They love it, man. Are you kidding, these guys?
Totally brainwashed.
I mean, because it'd be one thing if they thought you were doing something and were surveilling you or whatever, following you like this. And you said you were not driving recklessly, but you were cutting in front of cars, seeing they were just right on you, man.
Yep.
And they had all the antennas, everything.
Yeah, it was a pretty serious-looking car. I wouldn't even say it was APD. I mean, it was silver with all the antennas, windows tinted to the point of being illegal. That's another thing I was talking to them about.
Well, they're above the law.
Yeah.
Like Congress, insider trades.
Well, they say above the law. To them, there is no law.
Well, there's only the law. Imagine cowards that are criminals that go join to be in the system because they think they're winning.
Yeah, let's join this club and take this country down. Why don't they just openly get together and talk about doing it?
Well, they are now. They actually do say they're getting rid of America and freedom.
Yeah, they could have, instead of the policeman's ball or the Fed ball, they could once a year, let's have a take the United States down party.
And have a giant piñata that's America, just beat it.
Yeah. They could have their kids shot up with vaccines to...
Yeah, right on the...
Try to hit it, but they can't.
Well, Mike Adams has got the documents now where the doctors are telling people, now get ready for a convulsion, but don't come to the hospital when you have this convulsion. That's just the brain damaging process.
Sure. Yep.
It's very nice.
Oh, it's exceptional. It's a loving...
But see,
reality.
This isn't Germany or Russia. We have the Second Amendment. We had the First Amendment history. People are fighting it. We're not just, oh, you're scary, black uniforms. Oh, don't get me.
Yeah, I was actually having a thought when they started. Actually, when I started to realize they were following me, I was having this thought about the Federal Reserve, and I was thinking about the metaphor of the Federal Reserve actually being a ticket counter that they've created, and your money is nothing but a ticket to their reality. And they can print up as many tickets as they want. And then I look, hey, these guys are following.
So right when you pull out of your street, boom, they're on you.
Boom, they're
And then we're going to see where you live, but I mean, it's like 15, 20 turns.
Yeah.
I mean, they're here. They follow you 15 miles.
Sure. I mean,
And then you get to the office and they turn off.
Yep.
Just wanting you to know.
Yeah. just trying to intimidate me.
You know what's great about my wife? They call and go, we're going to cut your head off. And they'll go, I see the little dog in the back. Yeah, I'm watching you right now. And she's like, you cowardly piece of crap. I got a shotgun right here. You know, the fact that it only gets her more excited. You know, she doesn't care. She's not a coward like you.
Yeah.
Piece of trash.
Well, they're sweating bullets.
They're calling up and going, oh, your dad's in the hospital. We love it. Huh? I was just listening to you talk to your husband. Huh? I mean, that's who these people are. Yeah. The idiot public has not been involved in this. They don't know. They don't understand. They're going to understand.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to understand, folks, because they're coming to, I mean, it's going to get bad.
It's becoming a larger and larger reality, definitely. But it's our reality, and that's just a little reminder. But I'm not afraid of you. I've already died twice, and I got nothing to lose except this country and my family's security and future, so whatever. Go ahead and follow me all you want.
But it's not even about that. It's that commitment to defeating evil. It isn't, I mean, with me, it's like, I love my family more than anything, but if something happens to them, that's just the way it is. It's just like, I'm all in, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, just don't you get it? We're the opposite of you. We're the opposite. I mean, imagine the Secret Service. They already had the hookers pre-purchased. I mean, I just can't imagine if I went to some place and had time off. I'd want to go see the sites or ancient archaeological digs, or I'd want to go see some mountain lake or something, or an active volcano. You know, that's all down there. Instead, they want to. That's like wanting to go lick toilet bowls or something, to be with a bunch of hookers that like 20 people a day are having sex with. That's what the Secret Service is. But they're not even corrupt compared to their bosses that like to shotgun kids in the head for fun.
Right.
I mean, you know, that's what we're run by these people.
Well, in the Secret Service, we like to think they're squeaky clean, but you go back to JFK, you know, they're hooking JFK up, and who knows?
It's all complete farce. That's the thing about evil people, though. They're all dysfunctional, malfunctioning idiots.
This is true.
I mean, I was reading where the feds, most of them don't even pay taxes. It's just I mean, they're just a wall-to-wall. Look at Nancy Pelosi. Look at Obama. These are sacks of crud. I mean, I remember Jay Rockefeller, when Luke Rudowski's following him in the halls of the Senate, going, yeah, your family funded the Nazis, they funded eugenics. And he looks at him and he goes, you got a lot of, you know what, ought to give you a job. Yeah. But that was the only, he actually looked at him with respect, because this is a killer. You know, he's walking around like 6'6", and he just looks over to Luke. He's like, he goes, he goes, like, I got one that could see. It's like Sauron's eye. I ought to give you a job. What, one that actually knows what I am? The dragon's like, you know, it's just like, you know.
Yeah, it's well, and the thing is they're under the impression from the 50s and the 40s and before that that people are unaware. I think they've still got a block in their minds that there aren't 20 million people week in, week out listening to this that are completely.
Well, it's like 15 million a week with us, but with other stuff, it's like hundreds of millions. I mean,
yeah.
What do you people are buying 5 million guns a month to play tiddlywinks with them? No, they say, I don't trust the government.
Yep. Well, I just want to remind everybody to impeach Obama.
Yeah, we do. And then they're like, well, what? The others were corrupt. Yeah, we tried to impeach them.
No, we're in bad shape. If we don't impeach Obama right now, this needs to happen. This needs to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you know these crooks are scared. We're on here talking about them.
Sure. They're driving around in their fancy cars that we paid for.
Trying to intimidate you because they think you're like them, John.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like, we'll get you one day strapped down torturing a Jones. We'll break you. So what? You break me. I've already fired all my weapons in the info war at you. Don't you get it? I win. I've won. I declare victory. Want to declare victory, John?
Do you want some kind of battle cry or?
No, I mean, we're declaring victory over the New World Order. We declare victory in the name of Jesus Christ over the devil and all his servants.
Then I declare victory over the New World Order and the devil in the name of Jesus Christ. And I want you folks to know that you've lost.
That's right.
You've lost. You lost. You're losing. You're overreaching. You're getting desperate. You've lost.
And just like the Alamo, some of us won't make it through this, but it'll be the spark for the big event. That's what this is all about. Okay, guys, I've been ranting. I want to go to calls. Thank you, John. Hearing John tell that story right there, because I could tell he was angry all morning, and I was asking what's wrong. He told me the story. What do you make of that? I mean, that's nothing compared to me being physically attacked, the death threats, all of it. But I mean, it just shows they're testing John to see if they can really terrorize him and his family.
It's about intimidation. You know, we've had Chris Emery has been followed. A private investigator that was working on the Terrence Yakey story was followed, and he actually managed to get the license plate number. There was an associate of ours that actually ran that and said it came back as non-existent. He said that's typically only a government vehicle.
That happens out of a lot of the vehicles that come in and out of the memorial. There's also an intelligence unit being run out of the memorial downtown in Oklahoma City, the Memorial Institute for the Prevention of Terrorism. And we've had people run plates on those cars, and they're not existent either. So, I mean, there's a lot of spooks in this town, and they've tried to intimidate us. But frankly, you better watch out if you try something like that on me, because
right. And the thing is, I mean,
I don't back down, and try it.
Well, you don't want to end up like Terrence Yakey. That's a lesson to everybody. He figured it out and started fighting, but you know, that's the thing about the feds. Listen, the feds need to get this. When they start secretly arresting and killing people, folks aren't just going to start going with somebody when they get pulled over. And police and others need to understand that. This is going to cause a fight you can't win. You need to join the American people right now. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Terrence Yakey was probably killed because he was keeping his mouth shut. It's what Jesse Trentadue told us. You never keep a secret. You always get it out there as soon as possible. That way they have no reason to kill you. It's already out there.
That's why we announced the documentary when we came to do an interview with you, Alex. That was the first interview that we shot for the documentary, and we came out on your show saying that we are doing the documentary. That way everybody knows, there's no question about it. And at best, all they can try to do, I think at that point, is to intimidate you, because we have too large of a network of activists that know what's going on.
Well, that's what Jim Garrison said. Jim Garrison said, you've got to be public. Yes. And they do the same stuff, calling up his kids and his wife and women saying he was cheating on them. It's a standard playbook. And that's when you know, just like my grandpa, you know, flying around in a B-17, when you go over the enemy, that's when you get the flak. That is a good sign.
And that's where we don't stand, or we don't cave to the intimidation. You know, I ask myself every day, what can I do today to expand or preserve individual liberty? As long as I'm doing that, then I'm staying focused.
And there's a lot of blowback when they do stuff like this. They regret to this day killing Kenny Trentadue. Because of that, Jesse has pursued them in court and rubbed the FBI's nose in their own waste ever since with their own poor excuses. They regret, and they will rue to their dying day, that they decided to kill Kenny Trentadue because of Jesse. So, I mean, they may kill some of us, but believe me, we're coming back. And we learned from Terry Yakey, you're not doing that again. You're not getting away with that again.
Well said, gentlemen. Well said there. It's just, you know, and most of these idiots, they're trying to intimidate people. I mean, the order goes out, try to intimidate people. It's probably the local Austin FBI. They're mad that through an intermediary they told me to be nice, and I wasn't even talking about the FBI, so now I talk about them every day. I mean, I just don't get what world do they want their children growing up in a country like this, is what I want to know.
Yeah, they're power hungry. I mean, that's they're complete obsessed with their own ego and power.
That's what strikes me. Is like, I want to ask him, like, what do you think you're doing? Do you honestly think you're on the good side? I mean, look at what you're doing. These are citizens who are making inquiries and going on the internet and writing articles and whatever. I mean, they're not criminals. Why? I mean, where are you coming from with this? I mean, I really want to know the answer to that.
Well, they're criminals, or they've gotten hyped up in the process to joining it. And ask yourself, look the line you've crossed, because this isn't like you go over a line and it's incremental. You go over this line, you fall into the deep end. I mean, you're falling in with some really bad people.
I mean, most people will just pretty much do what they're told, and especially in a paramilitary organization, the police or whatever, and in an extraordinary circumstance, you kind of just do what you're told and keep your mouth shut. But I mean, under circumstances like this, when you're being told, ordered to intimidate and follow people who are not criminals, not engaging in criminal activity, and, you know,